Hi, welcome to this quick tutorial, 3 tips to fix an unbalanced trial balance. These are 3 solutions to fix common trial balance errors. Okay, this is what we're going to cover. There are 3 very common errors that cause unbalanced trial balances. We're going to go through 3 different solutions to find these common errors. These are the double check, the divide by 9 solution, and the divide by 2 solution. And we'll also go through an example with both. Okay, first of all, this is the obvious one. Okay, so please double check that you have all the ledger accounts actually within your trial balance. So go back to your ledger accounts, double check your trial balance, make sure they're all there. If there's a number missing or a ledger account missing in your trial balance, it'll never balance. It's an impossibility. So here's our example. We've got an unbalanced trial balance. We've got debits of 270 and credits of 30. But in actual fact, we forgot to put the loan account in our trial balance. So the loan ledger account, which was 240 credit, and that makes a balance. So double check that you've got every account. That's a nice easy one. Okay, here's the second one. This is divide by 9. So what you got to do is you got to take an out of balance amount. So go to your trial balance, have a look where your debits and credits are out of balance, and divide the difference by 9. So the out of balance amount by 9. And if the amount is evenly divisible by 9, so there's no remainder, it's exactly divisible by 9, it means you may have made a transposition error, where you treat perhaps 76 as 67 or 23 as 32, so kind of got them back to front, or a slide error, where you may have missed a 0 or added on a 0, so perhaps treated 400 as 40 or 90 as 900. If it is divisible by 9, go back to your trial balance amount, go back to your ledger accounts, and double check that you haven't treated 76 as 67 or 90 as 900, and so forth. So here's our example. We've got our out of balance trial balance. Debits are 282, credits are 264, and we've got our figures here. Our out of balance amount is 18, 282 minus 264 going back. See, 282, 264. Our out of balance amount is 18. We divide that by 9. We see it's evenly divisible by 9. So 18 divided by 9 is 2. And then we're going to go back to our to our ledger accounts. And it turns out that we treated accounts payable as 13 when it should have been 31. So let's look at before. We've got accounts payable, credit 13. But what it should be, it's accounts payable, credit 31. And if we switch the 3 and the 1, it turns out that we have a balanced trial balance. Whoopsie-doo. Okay. Now the third solution is divide by 2, or the third tip is divide by 2. So it's similar to the last one. We take our out of balance amount and divide it by 2. And if the out of balance amount is evenly divisible by 2, then we may have treated a debit as a credit or a credit as a debit. Just once again, go back to your ledger accounts, double check them with your trial balance, make sure you haven't treated a debit as a credit or a credit as a debit. And this is if it's evenly divisible by 2. Alright, so here's our example. With our trial balance, it's out of balance. Our debits are 107 and our credits are 457. So our out of balance amount is 350. We divide that by 2. It's 175 exactly. So that gives us a hint that we may have treated a debit as a credit or a credit as a debit. We go back to our ledger accounts, trace it back to the trial balance, double check that we haven't treated anyone the wrong way. And it turns out that we treated PPE as a credit when it should have been a debit. So let's have a look at the before. Here was the before. We've got PPE as a credit of 175, when what we should have done is treated as PPE as a debit of 175. And now suddenly, 282, our trial balance balances. So that's it. What did we cover? There's the obvious solution. Number 1, double check that you've got all the accounts in your trial balance, all the ledger accounts in your trial balance. And then the other solutions, divide by 9, divide by 2, we get the out of balance amount, and divide that by 9, see if it's evenly divisible by 9, or we can divide it by 2 and see if it's evenly divisible by 2. Or listen to this tutorial again if you need another example. But if you need any feedback or further assistance, please get in contact. Good luck and best wishes, and don't stress about out of balance trial balances.